Good morning. Welcome to ATI Pro Media Live at 9. Thanks for joining us today. It's Monday, May 12th. That's the date. I think it's right. We got a crop report today, but the big headline over the weekend, Mother's Day weekend, is a breakthrough in U.S. China trade talks and the markets, particularly stock markets, responding really well out of the gate here Monday morning on positive news with just a tone change between the world's two largest economies. So we got that. We also had on the livestock front, we had a headline break with Secretary of USDA at Brooke Rollins banning livestock imports on the southern border. So that's supporting the livestock markets and cattle markets gap higher. Let's go to your markets and check out where they're at right now. Looking at July corn, we're up 2.5 cents at 4.52 1/4. New crop Dees corn's 2.5 cents firmer at 4.44 1/2. July beans are 15 3/4 cent firmer, 10.67 3/4. Nove beans 17.5 cents firmer at 10.47 3/4. Soy oil is $1.73 firmer at 50.30, and soy meal is $1.40 firmer at 2.95.50. Looking over at your wheat markets, we got July Chicago wheat 3 cents higher at 5.25 even. KC wheat, July new crop is 4 cents firmer at 5.21 1/2. Was lower overnight, but bouncing back here out of the gate. Cotton is $1.38 firmer, or 1 penny, 1.38 firmer at 70 cents. So we're broke through that 70-cent level on Dees new crop cotton. Good to see. Wish we had $1 cotton. Feeder cattle, that's where a lot of markets are moving in your meat markets. We got the May feeders up 3.57, gapped higher, opened up, surged $4 to $5 higher, currently 3.5 higher, 301.55. August is 303.90 at 360 firmer. Live cattle are $1.65 firmer, 216 325. Hogs are up as well. We got the June hog contract $1.55 firmer, 99 12 1/2. Crude is up almost $2, $63 a barrel on your crude market. Diesel is 6.5 cents firmer at 2.13. Nat gas is 16 cents weaker at 3.62. The Dow, 1,000 points higher, 1,025 points higher to be exact, 42,340. The S&P is 147 points firmer at 5,825. The NASDAQ, 645 points firmer, 20,780. We got stock market back at Liberation Day levels. So April 2nd levels, Liberation Day levels back up there. Bitcoin's 900 points firmer, 104,500 on your Bitcoin. Gold's a little weaker, giving a lot back. The dollar is $1.21 firmer on the dollar index at 101.38. So snapshot of your markets. Good to see equities firmer. Good to see beans up. But that big headline, U.S. China trade breakthrough, that's the number one headline here. We got stocks surge, grains catch a bid, the dollar's firmer, gold is down, and that NASDAQ, your tech stocks up 3 to 4%, surging higher, and the Dow up as well. So a lot of things you read out there is just a general reset of the tone for those world's two largest economies out there, the U.S. and China. The tariff reduction is supposed to last 90 days. We'll see if it actually lasts 90 days. There's a lot of watch what I do, not what I say, and these headlines can change day to day. But 90 days, I think we get 2 days, and then it starts. Agreement lowered tariffs more than Wall Street expected, and that is, just the progress made in Geneva over the weekend is surprising to the trade and catching a bid out there. So got to adjust my monitor so I can see what I'm supposed to be seeing here right now. Stock markets, they're back to those Liberation Day levels, April 2nd Liberation Day levels. Stock markets are there. We might pull a chart in and look at that. Good to see us bounce back to those April 2nd levels, though. The agreement still leaves the 10% reciprocal tariffs in place. It just simply backed off the, I think, 125% level that the U.S. had tariffs on China. There also remains a 20% tariff on the fentanyl role, I guess, that China plays in the fentanyl piece. So there's effectively, I think we're at a 30% tariff on U.S. So still some tariffs there, but well off the ridiculous 125%, infinity percent tariff levels that were out there. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the U.S. and China could start work on drafting a full trade agreement over the coming weeks. So that's anticipated that we got this pause here, and that we'll get some work going on a full, more comprehensive agreement, and potentially will we resume phase one type buying obligations on the Chinese. So that I guess stay on the edge of your seat and watch for more headlines as we get more info, and stay nimble out there, because this stuff can change on the dime. We could have things back in place pretty quick too if things sour, and I wouldn't rule out something souring on this either. So we'll see how it unfolds, but out of the weekend, firmer out of the gate. The other headline, before we jump to the other headline, had an export flash, 120,000 metric tons of beans to Mexico. 8 o'clock a.m. the USDA released this export flash of beans to Mexico. Good to see. Good to see. But the big news out of Mexico was an import ban on the southern border. USDA Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins announced that yesterday. The ban will be in effect for at least 2 weeks as they review the strategy to fight against the screwworm parasite, which was recently detected 700 miles away from the U.S. border. So doing some reading. I haven't read up on screwworm too much, but this is a nasty parasite that just, gosh, I hope we don't have to deal with it. It's kind of scary to go read about, and gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. But cattle gapped higher. They gapped higher on the open and surged up $4 to $5. We backed off those highs a little bit here, but we'll see how they close. Sometimes you get some interesting price action throughout the day, but after you gap open, gap higher, it's all about holding and how we close here today. Hopefully we hold those gains, but really supportive and bullish if that border ban stays in place. We're just starting to see an increased climb in more Mexican cattle making it to market. They're dealing with the drought down there, and those cattle need a home. They need a place to go, and they're starting to work their ways into the U.S. Definitely impact our on-feed numbers in the southern plains going forward. So we also had some managed money stuff. Friday, we get the COT data. So Friday's COT data was as of last Tuesday, May 6th. Corn managed money sold 57,000. That brought their net long down to 14,000 net long, and many estimate they're flat and possibly short right now on this corn market. Soybeans managed money sold 16,000. Their net long is down to 22,000 on the soybean front. On the cattle front, funds added 1.5 thousand to their feeder cattle long and added 4.5 thousand to their live cattle long. So their total live cattle long is 162,000 on feeders and fats both. I want to get a graphic in. I don't have my graphic for you today, but I'll try to build it here later and blast that out to the guys who are on my text list, and get a graphic of that feeder and fat managed money position snapshot. I think it's worth looking at. All right. So digesting a couple headlines here today. We got the U.S. China trade deal. We've got the screwworm headline, both positive. This market, we will see here at 11 o'clock. We get the May WASDE crop report. We will have that. We will go live at 10:55 to do a price action live release snapshot, get the market reaction to the numbers, and get the numbers to you as they come out. 10:55. Join us back here on YouTube, Twitter, Acres TV. We'll be streaming live that USDA report, and we will have the post-game recap, review, deep dive analysis at 1:30. Kurt Struber is going to be leading the charge on that front. Make sure you tune in to that one as well. Those guys will deeper dive into all the numbers in that report. But 3 times live today, 9 here, right now, 10:55 later in the day, and then 1:30. Make sure you join us. This afternoon, we'll get the crop progress report. Corn was 40% planted last week. The average increase is 17%. The 5-year average for May 11th is 56%. So will we be in that mid-50 area? Will we be 60% planted? The trade, after we digest the May report, WASDE report, we will get some updated planting progress data here this afternoon at 2 or 3 o'clock. I think 3 o'clock. Last year, we were 47% planted. So beans, 30% planted last week. Average increase is 14% on the week. The 5-year average for May 11th is 37%. So we'll see where we're at with beans as well. And we'll get wheat conditions. So will we start to pencil in some of these recent rainfalls out here in wheat country, where this wheat crop is really looking great? A lot of planes going, spraying for rust out there. That means that field conditions are pretty. If you're having to spray for rust, usually that's a good sign that field conditions are good out there for growing bushels. But that's kind of where we're at here. I appreciate you joining us live at 9. Make sure you tune back in at 10:55. We will be here for that live drop of the May WASDE report. We'll see what type of changes we have on old crop. We'll get a look at that new crop balance sheet and demand going forward for the long term, see what USDA has penciled in there, and how will these markets react here. But it's good to see a nice bid out of the gate in your grain markets, in your cattle markets. Call us if you need anything ahead of this report. I'm going to get out of here. We'll see you back live at 10:55. See ya.